Welcome to CCRPG. I'm Bob, Robert, depending on who you ask, and I'm going to be the game master running this very interesting system called Lancer. It's a role-playing game about sci-fi, giant robots, and the players are going to be elite pilots taking missions, fighting in their mechs, and traveling the stars. We've run a few test sessions to get used to the rules, but we're still new. We might have a misstep here or there. I'm personally very excited to get into this as a big mecha fan, and I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with it. There's some specific terms and rules associated with this system. It's a little complex, but it's actually really easy to pick up. As they become important, we're gonna go over and explain those things as they become relevant. Next up, let's introduce the players who will be in the spotlight for the story. Jay, let's start with you. Why don't you introduce yourself?
You just said my name.
Who?
Yes, you. That's the one I'm talking to.
All right, I'll be playing J.D. Merlin. I come from a planet as a politician. Entered into our mech training program. Very high class. A lot of etiquette, persuasion. He knows some stuff. He has no problem talking to people or piloting and shooting people in a mech. It's not so good fighting people outside the mech. A lot of PTSD from wars back in his home world, but he gets by well enough.
Good, okay. And then we're going to go to Cody next.
Hello, Internet.
Who's that?
The character I'll be
Literally
playing
never
for
met
you
this
guys
guy.
is Alannah Walsh, call sign Gearhead. She comes from Earth, background as a mechanic, about 5'10", red hair, green eyes, very attractive lady. That's all you need to know for now.
That's
All that matters, really.
It's mission critical information. Okay, Todd, why don't you tell us who you are?
Okay, I'm going to be playing this guy, Coltan Danbury, or Danbury.
Did you not remember your own
I don't remember my own guy. Yeah,
I
it's
didn't
all right.
decide before we started here if it was Danbury, Dunbury, I don't know.
Dollberry?
Dunkirk.
Dingleberry.
Sure. Coltan Danbury, call sign Junker. He's a former smuggler. So I think the backstory I made up for him is he, was smuggling and he got caught, but he's so good at his job that they're like, hey, you should join the, you should join the Lancer program and become a pilot. And so that's what he's doing now. He is kind of an easygoing guy. Did we go over our traits? I don't remember.
No.
Yeah. We know that Cody is very attractive.
But
You can't even remember your
Jay
own
told us
name.
his. So
Yeah.
So,
Maybe-
of course, you
my-
can't
my
you
remember.
guy-
should tell us so we can remember for you.
My guy is easygoing, he's reckless, and he's resilient. So he's a cool operator, but he might kind of, dive into danger a little too easily.
Curious how you can be so good at smuggling that a valid organization comes up and is like, you're really good at smuggling. You should work for us.
It's like you hear the stories about like hackers that are like approached by cybersecurity firms, and they're like, "You're such a good hacker that you should work for us." It's I don't know. I didn't think of that much about it.
Hey, it was one of the valid backgrounds. I'll give that to you. Sure, why not? So, where we pick up today is graduation day. This is the final day of the training that your pilots have gone through. So let's get into the game proper.
Let me get my graduation hat on. There we go.
All right. So
Oh,
Jay's
wow.
Jay's ready.
Came
Jay's
prepared.
good to
That's
go.
a Crown Royal bag.
It is,
Crown
yeah.
Royal bag. Perfect. That it's purely representative of the type of training Jay did during the program. Okay, so with 3 years of hard training, intense selection processes, and mental conditioning, the pilot program is designed to take people who show unique promise and forge them into the best. Today is the end of that training for all of you. This is only the beginning, though. From today on, you'll be considered full pilots, ready for missions above and beyond normal operatives. Your pilots know this, boosted on feelings of accomplishment, but tempered by the expectation of what's ahead. The pilots will start in their quarters. These are small individual rooms with bedding and terminal access, connected via shared community space for the squad. You're all in dress uniforms, a mix between dress military attire and a pilot's jumpsuit.
And a hat.
And a hat, a graduation hat. They have finished preparing themselves, but you have some free time before the ceremony begins. You've already introduced your pilots, so people have a general idea of who you are, but as we jump in, you can, if you haven't already, describe what your character looks like. And let's go ahead and jump in. Where are you in this scene?
So we're all in our quarters right now?
Yes, so you each have an individual quarters that has a little bit of personal space, bedding, and terminal access that's independent. And then the three of you as a squad have a shared community space.
Okay, is there a bar nearby?
Like in the shared community space? Or
okay.
you mean like an
like
actual
a mini
bar?
Like,
Yes, yeah. If you guys would have put in the effort to requisition one, I'm sure that you
I'm
would
gonna
have
say
a place to store
Colton
your
was
alcohol.
definitely on that. So
If not, he
yeah,
would have
made
smuggled
sure.
one in anyway.
Yeah, or he actually has a
Some
keg.
illegal modifications.
Yeah.
He has a keg there. This
A
is
kegerator.
graduation. Yeah. So he's gonna be out in the common room, doing a little pre-gaming before graduation. You know, you gotta go into the ceremony a little buzzed to really
Hold it
appreciate
together.
it. Yeah.
That's what you were going to say.
yeah.
To keep
You say
saying.
so.
I think Alannah is going to join Junker in this revelry, this pre-game revelry, considering we are an elite squadron of pilots.
I will raise my glass to Alannah and say, to graduation,
To graduation.
may we
Clink.
not get killed.
Not yet, anyway.
JD's in the bathroom, currently making sure his hair looks good, and beard looks good.
See, Alannah doesn't have to do that. She wakes up and is immediately the hottest thing you've ever seen in your life.
As a product of one of your chosen traits, being the fact that you are very attractive, I don't think, it just happens.
It's
for
natural.
you. Maybe she was
Colton's-
born with it.
Maybe it's
Colton's
Maybelline's
a little,
Totally
Maybelline.
not. There are parts of Alannah she was not born with.
So yeah, you guys are, you have a little bit of time before the ceremony starts. So you guys are chilling in your common room. What do you want to do?
Well, we're just taking a few shots, like I said, pre-gaming a little bit. How much time do we have before?
You have a
It
couple
starts.
hours, actually. It's I would say it's
Okay.
morning universal time. So you guys are on a space station. You are actually not planet side. You're on a floating space station called PTMCR. It's where all the pilot training that you guys have had has taken place. And you go based on like a universal time that's independent of daylight hours.
Okay.
But it would be morning-ish. The ceremony's not supposed to happen until a little afternoon.
What's involved in the ceremony, do we know?
You believe it's a lot of like peacocking, essentially. The company you guys work for, which is actually called, I have it pulled up here, the description. You guys work for a very interestingly named Manticorp. They have a military division called Scorpion's Tail that you guys have been training in. And you guys basically are going to be brought up almost like a board meeting where they're going to celebrate their success. Like, look, we have more pilots. Like, there's going to be a lot of business people there. And from what you've heard, it's going to be very boring.
Are there other squads graduating as well, or just us?
Just you guys today. This is the month of graduation for everyone who started the program at around the same time as you guys. Each squad has their own chosen day to graduate.
Are we the
And
first day?
You guys are scheduled. You are not.
Oh, that means
You
we're not
guys
the
are
best.
Like,
Shit.
yeah, you guys are like third.
Oh
guys are
man, third
in
place. Thinking with a woman as hot as this, first place would have been guaranteed.
Well, I think Colton, for his part, he's just gonna sit back, kick his feet up a little bit, and just hang out until it's time to go.
How
Doesn't
long?
really have big plans.
how long would it take to get to the garage? To my mech.
Oh, to the hangar.
I
the mech
assume.
hangar. Yeah. It's probably like 20 minutes.
Alannah's gonna go there and she's gonna chill out in her mech, listening to
Alright.
some music.
So, Alannah, I'm assuming, heads for the door then?
Correct.
So then you'll be the closest to the door when this happens. You approach the door, and all of a sudden, knock, knock, knock. You hear something rapping on the outside of the door.
Go away.
This is a weird coincidence. I'll open the door.
All right. Standing just outside the door is a man named Vladimir Bryson. Someone that you
Vlad.
guys know very well. Vladimir has actually been your operator, kind of the guy in the chair for your guys' operations.
Oh, he's Oracle.
Yeah, he sends you intel. He looks things up for you.
He
gives
reads
you,
the code.
He gives you mission parameters and he paints your targets for you. Vladimir started as a fellow candidate in the pilot program. Did quite well for the first year of conditioning, but he washed out of the program when the training moved on to practical mech piloting and he couldn't keep up. But he was retained and put into the operator program. He was eventually assigned to your team as their operator during your time in training, and has been working with you for the past year and a half. So as the door opens, you see Vladimir standing there, and he looks like he just knocked, and in his hands, he actually has 3 big objects that he was carrying.
What are you carrying, Vlad? What do you got there?
He goes, Alannah! Hey, happy graduation day!
Oh, thanks. You know.
And he looks through his 3 objects they brought with him, and he goes, that means this is for you, and he pulls out one of the objects and hands it to you.
What is it?
It is a wrapped box. And he goes, it's a present. You guys are graduating.
She's
today.
gonna tear it open and look inside.
Coltan will call to Vlad and say, "Hey, Vlad, come in. Papa Squad."
Alannah puts out a hand, stops Vlad. I need to know what's in this. Sorry, Junker. What is?
Vlad started walking
into
forward and just was stopped by.
I like to imagine you haven't actually looked in the box. You just ripped it open and just
I
stared at
did.
it.
I just
What
ripped
is
it open. No, what is it?
Yeah.
Tell me.
So
Right at this
Gearhead.
time, JD comes out now. It's, oh, hey, Vlad, how's it going?
Vlad, stay.
Vlad will wave at you.
Oh, what you got there in your hands, Vlad?
All while Gearhead still has no idea what's in her box. So, Gearhead, I'm going to call you guys primarily by your call signs.
Works for
I
me.
think that'll make it easier for me. Gearhead, what is inside is a custom machined, not printed, Omnitool with the name Gearhead etched into the metal.
Nice. Adding that to my inventory.
Yeah, you can go ahead and give that to yourself as a possible asset to take on missions with you. That's like an Omnitool in this setting would be something that would allow you to interact favorably with any mechanical system.
All right, Vlad. You can go. You're free to go.
He just is like, okay. He walks past you. Since Junker is seated and Merlin is actually standing up, I'm assuming Merlin's closer. So he's going to walk up to you next, and he's going to pull out the second of his 3 objects and be like, happy graduation, Merlin. And he holds out the gift to you.
I've been actually meaning to get you something. I run back into my room to pull out a box for him, hand it to him.
I wasn't expecting that. Thanks, guys.
I mean, it's from me. It's not from them.
We all
Oh,
pitched in.
well,
What are you
Thanks,
talking
Merlin.
He didn't.
I
That's
mean,
really nice
it was
of you.
my idea, but you know.
It wasn't.
So Merlin will set down his box that you just gave him first, and then he'll walk over to Junker and also hand him a much smaller box.
Saving the best for last, I see.
And then he'll walk back to the box that Merlin had given him. He goes, go ahead, tuck in, guys. Let's see what you got.
I'll open mine.
I mean, I know what you got, because I got them, but...
Yeah. All right, I'll open mine.
All right. Merlin, what you find inside, it's actually yours was the largest of the 3 packages. It is like
not
Not the
fair.
first time Merlin's heard that.
largest package, you know. It's actually like a metal briefcase. And as you undo the latches and pull it open, It's actually a nice set of optical gear, including a laser rangefinder in a padded case. The padded case has Merlin printed on it in stencil letters.
Nice.
Like night vision goggles, or?
Yeah, it has like night vision goggles, range-finding gear, laser rangefinder, survey equipment, and it's a bunch of like little canisters and stuff in a padded case that has the indents etched out so that you can stick them all in the pads.
And then it says caution, radioactive.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay, I'm opening mine.
All right, Junker. Damn it, both of you picking names that I get confused. Junker, you open your small ornate package and find in it a small metal flask. It has a stitched leather covering around the outside, and stitched into the leather it says Junker. Also, you look further down into the box. Inside is a bottle of imported brandy.
Vlad, you know me too well.
Looks like Vlad
my
knows
least
you.
favorite.
Yeah. So Vlad will excitedly look down at the gift that Merlin had got him. He'll pull it up.
That
he'll
we
open it up.
all got him. Ain't that right, Junker?
So Merlin opens up.
That's right.
Vlad opens up his box. What does he find inside?
A watch that opens up like a locket, and there's like a picture of the
Picture of
three of
Merlin.
us together in it, and then a picture of the mech that he used to drive back in training.
Aw.
He'll look at it and he'll go,
So sweet.
"Oh man, that's so nice. Thank you, Merlin. I needed a watch too. Thank you."
Pictures so you
How
can
did
remember
all
who
three
you're
of us
watching
know?
over. The mech is so that you can remember where you came from, and the watch is so that you can keep track of time for us while we're out there, because we don't need you late again like last time.
Hey,
That's
it
true.
was only because there was an emergency.
What, were you having a kid?
My Mexican was ready.
Okay, that's fine. Burritos are pretty good, I guess.
It is an emergency. I'm glad you understand. So Vlad comes into your thing with you. He'll
I'm
walk
glad you
over.
meant food, by the way. At first I thought it was like
Yeah,
you
it's
had a little
Mexican.
Mexican
You know-
servant or something.
You know, when we all go into outer space and colonize thousands and thousands of planets,
Yeah, you gotta have some Mexican with you.
there's Mexicans.
The
Space wall,
planet
build it
is
now.
Mexican.
Yeah, there's now a
I mean,
planet that is
this
Mexican.
is a future
Mexico, the
where
planet.
Trump built the wall, so
But it's
the
a space
Mexicans
wall.
went into space. Yeah, to
Is it
colonize.
going to be like that wall that just is a circle around the planet? And they're
Yeah.
like, how's it gonna work? They can just go over it.
Nice reference. I get that reference.
Okay, but yeah, so Vlad decides to come in and kind of party with you guys.
Yeah, I'll toss him a beer.
Except that Alannah's leaving, so see you, Vlad.
He'll
Good
say-
seeing you.
They'll say, Alannah, actually, let me just tell you something. I don't think you guys knew this. Post-ceremony, this is the part you usually don't see when you're in the audience of a graduation ceremony, but you're going to be expected just after this ceremony to secure your next contract. You guys are going to be functioning field agents once you graduate. And, I mean, there's going to be the dog and pony show where they show you guys off and talk about all your achievements, but then you're going to have to actually talk with the different people at the different parts of the company and secure a contract for what you're going to do after this.
Immediately?
Yeah,
Look, it
it's
should-
right after the ceremony.
Guess I should lay off the.
If I
drinking a
can,
little
if I
bit.
can sweet talk the data out of a man's room, I'll have no problem securing a contract for us.
Yeah, Vlad's like, what?
So sure about
The
that.
good old days. And then she leaves.
All right, so Gearhead is headed off to just like chill in her mech while she waits for the ceremony to start.
Yeah, I mean, when you borrow parts from the hangar and build your own mech to force them to make you a pilot, that's you kind of draw, a little bit of a bond there.
Yeah, fair.
You know.
Fair. All right, so Vlad, yeah, he just comes in. He'll share a drink with you. He'll pop open the beer that he was tossed and sit down in your shared seating spaces. But yeah, you guys are just going to pass the time until the ceremony starts. And after a while, let's see. We're going to head towards when you actually are expected to arrive at the ceremony.
Okay.
So, since Gearhead, you went off to the hangar to be with your mech, you're actually going to get kicked out a little under like 30 minutes before the ceremony.
Okay. She's gonna yell, I was listening to classical music. How am I gonna get through my day without Drake? You monster.
So there's just gonna be this like hangar tech guy who's there. Is like, I'm sorry, ma'am. It's just, you know, your MC's needing the auditorium hangar. You know,
this bling isn't gonna hotline itself, sir. All right. And she storms away.
Okay. So your mechs are actually going to be moved into the auditorium hangar ahead of you guys because they're part of the presentation ceremony. So, Gearhead, as you head back,
Gonna grumble the whole way.
You're actually run into Merlin and Junker as they're heading to the ceremony. Vlad will have headed out a little ahead of you guys to get a seat.
Hey guys, ready for this?
Suppose.
So,
just want it to be over with, so we can get down to business already.
Yeah, sounds good. Anybody know which way to go?
No idea. Wait, yes.
This way. And I point in some direction.
All right. Well, so
I mean, we should know where the auditorium is.
I'm sure we know where to go.
It's very near the hangar that you guys are
We're
used
not
to.
complete idiots.
PTMCR, which is the space station you guys are on, has residential, commercial, and industrial districts, but the militarized portions are the parts that you guys generally stay in during official business. Obviously, you'd go out into the commercial areas during free time, but the hangar is actually situated, like I said, about 20 minutes away from the private quarters that you all have. So on your way there, you're actually going to run into... Oh, you know what? Let me go ahead and mark something here.
Shaking your head at. Don't shake your head at me.
Don't shake your head at me.
Quick,
I didn't deserve this.
Quick
I don't
recording
deserve this.
check. Make sure everybody's still recording.
Oh, yeah. So, on your way to the hangar, you're going to run into a woman who is wearing like a pilot's jumpsuit. It is yellow and black, alternating.
Run into a woman like anime-style piece of toast in my mouth as I'm running, or... Yeah.
Or like nose just completely bloody. Run into a woman.
You guys turn a corner, and then she's walking towards you.
Okay.
So in the distance, this is a woman who was actually in your training class. She graduated earlier this month. This is
Deborah Jones. Remember her well.
This is Melissa Honora.
Oh, damn it! I always get those two confused.
Yeah. No, I could see where the problem is there.
Yeah.
She was another student in the ST training program. She's competitive and believes she can make a name for herself working in Manticore.
Not wearing an outfit like that, she can't.
Well, you know, not everyone has your advantages.
Do a hair flip.
Hey, Missy. Long time no see.
She nods curtly. You guys, he's like, "Oh yeah, you guys are graduating today, huh?"
Yeah.
Have you graduated already, or is that coming up for you?
You better bet I graduated. I was the first one, me and my squad.
All right. I just didn't know. You know, I didn't mean anything by
Junker, we were there.
He's off.
What do you mean you don't know?
He was too drunk.
Do you expect me to remember that? I mean,
it was 2 days ago.
Well, that's like that's like forever for me. So.
Oh boy, I can't believe we got through the training mission with you.
It's actually a month ago, but my odd choice in partners aside, what brings you around, Melissa?
I'm just on my way over to MCR. I gotta turn in some of my work for my new contract.
Oh, what you got?
You know that's classified. Hey, why don't you try
Is
and
it,
secure
though?
a good contract?
Is it? Alannah
And
gets
we'll talk
closer.
then.
Is it classified? Bats her eyelashes.
Are you trying to actually coerce
Oh,
her?
here we go.
That sounds
I'm
like
All right,
trying.
check.
this is where rolls start.
Sounds like a skill
Um,
challenge.
So in Lancer, there is a simplified system for interactions outside of a mech. Any skill challenges that the pilots undertake are actually going to be a flat 20-sided dice roll. Anything 10 and above is a success. 9 and below, 9 and below is a failure. If you roll a 20 or higher, that's a critical success. And that is possible because there's also a system in place for advantage. If there's something you're specifically good at, you can add a d6 on top of that. And as we all know, Gearhead is a very attractive woman, I guess.
That's
I
one
don't know
of her
how
traits. One of her
that is
three
one of your traits.
Uh-huh.
So I'm going to let you go ahead and roll advantage on this coercion check.
Okay, rolling with
So,
advantage.
Yeah,
Come on,
roll
baby.
with 1 accuracy.
Chicken dinner. 15.
15 is a normal success. So
she's a little turned on.
maybe
Basically.
maybe not intentionally, but she flusters at you getting all hands on with her. She's like, I'm working in MCR. There's some new mechs that need run through the old data crunch.
All right, sounds interesting.
Nothing I can talk about yet, but maybe if you guys keep on the straight path, you might fly one of these guys someday.
I'll keep that in mind.
Oh, we
I
will.
do just fine in my
Thanks,
own
Missy. Winks at her.
She grumbles under her breath as she shakes her head and walks past you all.
I'm gonna.
She has a sheaf of folder, like a thing of folders under her arm as well that she's carrying.
JD just goes, Missy, I'm sure you'll do great.
She looks at you and almost against her natural inclinations, she gives you a slight smile. Is like, thanks, Merlin, and she'll head off.
Junker's like, go get him, sport. And then he's going to say, what was her name again?
And after that,
Also, Todd forgets what her name is as well.
Missy.
So.
Both her name
Both
is
in character
Melissa.
and out of
Melissa
character.
Benor.
I forgot.
yeah.
Melissa Honora. Actually, you guys will know she graduated first in the class.
Yeah, I know. Alannah's gonna
Victoria.
remark, can't believe she graduated first. Come on. Overachiever.
By the way, guys, twice in the first month of training.
Really?
Let's get going.
I like this.
Damn, I
like
couldn't
this
even
rich-
score that.
I like this rich fiction that Merlin is weaving here. a storyteller after my own heart.
Junker's like, you wish.
You guys will actually know, she mentioned in passing there that she has a contract with
MCR.
Mechanized Cavalry Research. Mechanized Cavalry is the full name for what mechs are. It's shortened to MCs, or mechs, in this game. That's probably the most coveted contract in offered in ST. She actually got that almost as an award for her valedictorian package. She was, as part of that, part of the incentive was she got an MCR contract right out of graduation. They are going to be represented there. Now, that is to say, if you make an impression, the MCR representatives are still going to be at the party after your guys' graduation.
Okay.
So they're going to be one of the groups that you're going to be looking to get a contract with.
Okay.
Awesome.
Okay, so as you guys enter a large hallway, you know that normally you guys would head straight to the main MC storage area. But you actually hang a right. There is an auditorium hangar an area where mechs can actually be displayed with auditorium seating, looking at the mechs. It's often used for presentations or tech discussions where they bring in an actual model, like an actual physical model of some sort that people can observe and talk about. So let's go ahead and push forward here to the actual ceremony itself.
Do
And then the wedding song starts to play, and everyone gets confused.
Yeah, everyone's like, "What?
Dun, dun, dun.
We
Here
gathered
comes
you
the
here
bride."
today to join man and woman and mech and mech and mech in unholy matrimony."
Anyone has any objections?
Just an entire auditorium like, me, I guess? Maybe me? So you guys move forward into the actual licensure ceremony. This is it. The room is a small hangar/auditorium with a wide open space where 3 MCs stand, fully equipped with stadium-style seating facing them, where various department heads and officials from different parts of Manticorp watch on. During the license ceremony, the pilots stand atop a raised boarding platform in front of their MCs, while the head of Scorpion Tails addresses the assembled crowd. Is there anyone out in the crowd that you guys spot while you're up there? Like any friends you guys would have made during your training other than Vlad that you think you see out there in the
I have
crowd?
a few drinking buddies up there. Junker's gonna wave at them. Go
Just-
like, who?
So who are these guys? Are they like blue collar working guys?
They're,
Or
they're like real rough types, you know.
shuttle
we
pilots?
get into fights sometimes, but then we laugh it off later, you know.
Doesn't sound like Junker at all.
This can include any friends or contacts nearby or in PTMCR space that would be able to attend.
So, like, family doesn't get to get shuttled in or anything?
Not if they're more than like 3 systems away. No.
I mean,
If they're within like a couple of systems away, then they would have been able to get here in time, or else they'd have to book their own passage. So if you had some wealthy family, maybe they took a month out of their time to get here in time for it. So
I probably have some family up
not
there.
Junker.
not Junker. Junker has his drinking buddies.
Yeah.
Merlin has some family members you think came to see you graduate?
I would say some back from the homeworld, yeah.
Okay. What about you, Gearhead? You
No.
got anyone out there?
Nope, it's just me. Everyone's dead.
Mysterious.
Gearhead's an island.
Everyone's
Yeah.
dead. Wow, what happened?
Well, we were attacked.
I think there's some more to your backstory than you're letting on.
Well, we're gonna go through it eventually. Yeah, it's all planned.
I'll be looking forward to that.
Yeah.
I have a
involves
vested
the mirror,
interest since
and we
I have
look
to
at it for
somehow
a while.
craft a story around you.
Correct.
But, you know. Okay, so. The ceremony actually plays out almost like a product launch. In front of all of you is Greta Prosna Warner. She is actually the head of ST. She is in a long white coat with like a tight-fitting black jumpsuit underneath. She's been the head of ST. She kind of acts as a representative between the upper levels of Manticorp and the pilot training program.
What was her name again?
Her name is
Greta Warner.
Greta Prosna Warner.
You don't need a middle name.
She is the base commander for PTMCR station. She's someone you wouldn't expect to see during your normal duties, but she was in your matriculation, and she's here at your graduation.
She's the
and
principal.
she generally gives orders. Like your direct superior, Varsha Kendall, the person who trained you, that's her report. Like, she would report directly to her. She works as an in-between for ST and Manticorp. But she is actually standing in front of all of you on the boarding platform. Like I said, it plays out like a product launch. Greta goes on for a while about training methods and the successes of the pilot training program. She starts to cite specifics for your squad, including your aptitudes and qualifications, your class ranking, as well as she goes off a few notable points from a few of the training missions you guys were sent on. Is there anything specifically about your characters you would like her to highlight in this instance? Is there something you think you specifically stood out in training that she would be remarking on?
Sure. Alannah would have been the best mechanic they've ever had, but decided to give it all up after she
Realized how good-looking she
borrowed
was.
parts and forced them to make her a pilot.
I don't need
All
to
right,
work
well-
as a mechanic. Look at me.
I know. I mean, sure, I'm naturally gifted at fixing anything and building anything, but I'm much better at blowing people up.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. She'll go into your background because you know what? Your character actually had a very, very interesting backstory. It's kind of like a self-made woman story.
Always.
where-
Strong female
Yeah.
character.
So, after a while, going over all of this, eventually,
Don't worry, we can edit this part out.
oh, well, we're not. Oh, we're not. Eventually, Greta actually approaches from the right side of the platform. In tow behind her is Mark. Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Mark is actually her direct subordinate. He is the base command report for her. He runs the day-to-day, essentially. He basically is like, since she's busy working with the upper-ups, he's the guy who's actually in charge of the day-to-day scheduling and processes in the base. He's also, you guys would know, whenever you guys go on a mission, he actually heads up any tactical meetings. So when you guys have a tactical meeting before you go on a mission, he's always the one running those. So Greta will approach from the right side of the stage, and she will approach Junker first after the end of her presentation. She's holding something, and so is Mark. Mark walks up to you, Junker, and he holds out a small metal disc, approximately the same size as the face of a watch.
Okay.
All right.
I'll take it.
Okay, so as you
I wasn't
reach
giving
out,
it to you.
give me
Unless
that.
I read
This isn't
read
for
that
you.
wrong.
Just touching you with it. Yeah.
It's like,
Take that. So as you take hold of the metal disc in his hand, you'll notice that as you grab it between your fingers, it actually projects a solid hologram to the left of it. You'll see a little rotating picture of yourself, and it creates like it's a rotating headshot with your call sign next to it. It has your license certification levels, and it also has a description of you at the bottom.
holographic dog
This-
tags.
This is the physical version of your license.
Nice.
It has all of the information that would update whenever you get additional license levels.
Nice. And does it fit in our wallet? Is it like
Fits on your watch.
Where do people keep it usually?
In different places. Some people make a pendant out of it. Some people wear it like a watch on their wrist.
Okay.
Some people just keep it in their pocket. But it's about the size of a face of a watch, so it's about that big.
Okay.
And then after he hands that out to you, Greta steps up to you holding a sheet of paper. It's about, normal paper sized, and she hands it to you.
Okay.
And as you turn it over, it is actually the deed to the MC standing behind you. It is now fully 100% in your ownership, no longer owned by ST. It is now part of, basically, you.
Junker will pump his fist and go woo, and then he'll remember where he is, and he's going to kind of collect himself, and then he will bow very solemnly to Greta and say thank you.
Greta, after waiting for you to finish your outburst, will hold out her hand for a handshake.
I was gonna say, who bows? Alannah just smacks her hand on the forehead like, God.
Junker's gonna be like, oh, we shaking hands. That's what we do. Okay, fine.
She shakes her hand and then she just nods at you, and then they walk away. Okay, the same process will repeat for Gearhead. Mark will approach you first and hand you your license disc.
I grab it. Thank you.
You'll notice, just like everything, your rotating face portrait is very attractive.
Well, naturally.
I feel like since that's the only thing you gave me to go on, I have to mention it constantly.
Well, I mean, you know.
All right, and then Greta will hand you your deed to your MC, making it fully yours.
I grab it
name and
and
title.
extend a hand for the shake.
All right. She takes your hand very professionally. One pump, moves on.
See? That's what happens when you're also rational. You do things rationally.
And then finally...
Well, I was the first one to go, so I didn't know. Like,
yeah, no idea.
Yeah, I didn't know.
Come on, guys.
How
it's like going
went.
to a job interview with a clown
No one
costume
told
on
me.
for Burger King. Like, what are you doing?
Finally, they'll reach Merlin as Mark hands you your license, and Greta presents you the deed for your mech. Additionally, Merlin, there is an additional piece of regalia that she hands you. It's a small pin that has 2 wings coming off to either side, and it just has a small symbol in the center of it. That is it's a circle with the tail of a scorpion posed for attack in the center, and she says, "Official representation of your leadership of the squad."
Very good.
All right.
Yeah, Merlin.
Woo! Oh, God. Face palms
He
again.
has his flask out already. He's like,
Alannah's gonna
Hey,
nudge him. Keep it
At this
professional.
point, they're not going to take it.
Jesus.
Yeah, at this point, they're not going to take it back from you.
But
You're
still,
done.
you're
Yeah.
still representing. Calm
Exactly.
down.
Remember that time we tried to get contracts? Yeah, that was
Yeah,
fun.
I know.
Yeah, remember that time? And everyone was like, I don't know, you guys have that drunken smuggler on your team.
He is kind of useful, though.
well,
But he's
you know, he
so
gets the
good
job
at his
done.
smuggling job.
He's a loose cannon, but he gets
How do you
results.
think he got the alcohol in here?
I know.
Exactly. That's his.
Where'd he
MO,
put it?
man.
So,
Yeah. So, after the formal ceremony closes out, the boarding platform you're on lowers down. Just to the side of the room you're in is a large banquet hall with large portrait windows that look out onto this area, and the impressive forms of your MCs. All the attendees have already shuffled in there ahead of you, so there's a bunch of tables in there and everyone is standing about, drinking and talking to each other. As you guys get down to the bottom, Greta and Mark step down from the lowered platform, and Mark looks back at all of you. He says, "Good job for sitting through all of that, and good luck to you.
weren't we
Hope you get a
standing?
good contract." Yeah. What? Why wouldn't you be standing?
I don't know. I assumed we were standing through that whole thing.
Yeah, you were standing through the whole thing.
Okay.
Oh, I see. Jokes.
Because he said, thanks for sitting through all that.
Yeah,
And
sitting,
so Alannah
you
says
know.
to Junker, weren't we standing?
So they head on into the banquet room, and you guys are left alone with your MCs before heading in.
Okay.
So, is this going to be like a job fair or something where we go around and talk to different people and
Put
try
our
to
business
secure a
cards into
contract?
jars.
Like, how does this work?
When you say we talk to different people, I just want to clarify how this is going to go down.
Hey,
I would
that's what I'm asking.
I would assume
You are
our,
going to go
lot of
check
this
out
is
the
up to you.
food
our
and the
fearless
drink.
leader would be securing the contracts.
Yeah, I mean,
I can
this
lay on
party
the
is in
charm.
your hands.
Come on.
The only thing you can lay on is a bed after a hard night's drink.
Well, I can do 2 things.
Drink and sleep.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Bear.
he has a full schedule.
Yeah, it's a hard life.
So, with our looking at our mechs, is there anybody else in this room right now with us currently?
You guys, currently there is a lowered loading platform that you guys just came down from, and you'll notice that at the feet of each one of your MCs, there is a holding bar, and next to each MC, your hard suit is hanging next to each mech. A hard suit is kind of like your heavy armored spacesuit that goes on over top of your jumpsuit. It's what allows you to interface with your mech, and it like drastically increases your agility and your strength. It's like basically a powered suit of armor that you need to drive your mech. So it's just your MCs, your hard suits, and you guys.
Looking good. I assume it's all polished and looking pretty.
Oh yeah. They took care of making sure everyone's looked presentable before wheeling them in.
Very good. I mean, we don't need to do anything with them, right?
No, I think at this point, you guys were told, you can just head into the banquet after kind of talking to each other about, congratulations. They expect you to have a little bit of time alone before you head into the party. So you guys were left alone with your mechs before you head in to talk to everyone.
So just enough time for a quick orgy, and we can go.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh, man, now I have to think about that.
Yeah, I don't...
Todd, come on.
Real quick.
Alannah's gonna look at both of you. You guys ever name your mechs?
Merlin.
I don't remember.
Our mechs are our call sign,
yours goes by your call sign?
Aren't they?
No,
Well,
we have
mine's
a call
definitely
sign,
not.
But I guess you could call
What's
your
yours,
mech
then?
something.
Oh, my mech's name is Mantis. Look at his head. Looks like a mantis. I didn't build it like that for no reason.
Well, I guess I should probably think of one.
Well,
Mine would just be like a humanoid-looking mech for the most part. Thinner legs, bigger upper body, just like standing with a rifle there.
Okay.
I don't want to get too attached because most likely it's going to get destroyed at some point.
I'll just rebuild it for you. You can name it whatever you want.
Yeah,
and we'll
but-
just put
but-
V2 at the end of the next one, and then V3.
Yeah. You'll end up walking into battle with a mech that just has a little tag hang down that just says Fido V17 on it or something.
The new and improved
Yeah.
Fido.
Well,
All right. Are you guys going to head into the party?
what do you guys think? Should we shoot for MCR?
Oh, obviously. Melissa can't be the only one, Miss Head of class.
What?
So
what?
you guys would know this, so let me give you a little info up front. The party's going to have representatives from multiple divisions of Manticorp, all that have vested interest in making contacts with pilots for various reasons. Now, if you take a contract with one part of an organization, that doesn't mean you're working for the entirety of it. So each organization within Manticorp will have multiple representatives here. Think of this as almost like taking on different bounties to different employers. There might be 3 people here from MCR, or there might be 2 people here from colonization. Ooh. You're working for a specific contract. So there will be multiple contracts even under the same organization being offered here. So the different organizations that you guys are aware of as part of this are going to be colonization. Generally, they'd be setting up contracts for things like claim staking, resource acquisition, and outpost security. Resources and transport, they do things like cargo escort, VIP transit security, and asset recovery. There's law and property. They need to contract pilots to represent and enforce business interests. And operations and human resources. They need pilots for on-base security, VIP escort at home as well as abroad. And then MCR. Generally, MCR can decide what conditions are best for their testing and just choose what they want to do in the company. So oftentimes MCR's decisions will overlap with other parts of the company, but they'll just be like, okay, we need to test our thing in these conditions. So they would send out a group to maybe do something that involves colonization, as long as it has conditions they're looking for their research. So MCR does basically the gamut of things and kind of gets the first choice at missions depending on what they need to test for. It's very prestigious to work for them.
So that's the most coveted sort of contracts.
It tends to be.
Pilots go for.
Colonization sounds fun, though.
Could be. Yeah, these are all options.
Junker is going to express a preference for resource and support. Since
Of
that's
course
sort
he
of in
is.
his wheelhouse.
Well, let's.
If you're asking for opinions.
We weren't, but thanks.
You're the boss. You're the boss.
Let's see
man.
what happens in there.
All right. So, as you make your way into the banquet room, you find that there's a bunch of people standing at different tables. Each table, you'll notice, has a holo terminal at it. Much like a normal screen terminal, but these are specifically designed so that everyone around the table can see what's being displayed on it pretty much evenly. And it's used for like demonstration purposes a lot. So a lot of people at these tables are looking over specs. Embarrassingly enough, some of the specs they're looking at are about you guys. So there'll be people having private conversations at tables with like statistics of you guys pulled up on their screens as they're like talking to each other. There is a bar against one wall that has 3 servers at it. There are
Alright,
numerous
Junker's there.
Junker's there already.
Alannah's going as well.
Yeah, he didn't wait for the descriptive text. He disappeared. You guys entered the banquet door, and all of a sudden Merlin was alone with like a spinning cartoon like bottle just up in the air.
There's just like a little smoke cloud where Junker used to be.
So yeah, everyone's here, they're chatting, making deals, sharing drinks. This also marks an occasion where people are forced together from different parts of the company. So a lot of people take these opportunities not just to look for pilots, but to like promote like deals between different parts of the company. You see some people admiring the MCs through the portrait windows on one side of the wall, having technical discussions. People at tables are debating things while referencing statistics and graphs. There are also people hovering over by the bartenders, where obviously you are, drinking and laughing. You actually will also see Vlad here as well. He's standing at a table, also with some statistics brought up on the holo terminal, with a couple different people in very similar uniforms to the one he's wearing.
Alannah's gonna walk up. Vlad, buddy.
So he'll turn out of the party he's with and he'll be like, "Hey, Gearhead, what? Good ceremony. You guys made it, huh?"
Yeah. Damn Melissa, head of the class. Gotta get into MCR. You know anybody?
Yeah, well...
Got any leads?
Well, yes, actually.
Yes.
I can at least... I know who everyone here is representing. I can point them out for you.
Please, point us in the right direction. We're really trying to secure an MCR contract.
All right. He'll point out at a table over yonder. There appears to be a stuffy person, like with regalia on, who has like a raised collar, talking to a short woman with glasses on and a white overcoat. He'll say, "But watch out. That guy over there is from Law and Property. You don't want to get mixed up with them."
Another question. Do you know what they like to drink?
Why would I know that?
I don't know. I'm just, maybe you saw them order something. Something to give me an edge to...
I'm a good operator, but I'm not that good. Come on.
Alright. Goes up to the bar. I'll take one of everything.
The bartender goes, "What? One of every... Oh, you're one of the ones who graduated, huh?"
Yes. One of everything, please.
I need to know if you're joking or if you actually want me to make one of everything.
One of everything. I don't joke. Sees Junker sitting over there. One of everything. One of everything, please.
He very sadly
Junker's like,
turns
"What are you
around
doing,
to
man?"
his bar. He says to the other 2 people at the bar, he's like, "Cover me for like 20 minutes. This is gonna be a while."
I have a question. Does do drinks cost money or
No.
is
Open
it
bar.
Just like, okay.
Yep.
So I'll be walking
They could have
around
said a
schmoozing
drink
with people
maximum.
then.
What are you doing, Merlin?
I come from a political background.
Okay.
I'm comfortable coming around talking with people, getting my name out there,
Okay.
that kind of stuff.
So what particular are you doing? Are you looking for a specific conversation to dive into, or?
People that are looking at me.
Okay, you'll definitely find some of those. Let's what kind of let's say you walk up to a terminal table that has some people discussing things at it who seem to be referencing your statistics. You're gonna
not
find...
my best picture.
They're like, yeah, I remember my son actually went through the PT program. His looked like shit.
It's reassuring.
Thankfully, we're not scored based on that.
Well, some of us aren't.
Looks like you guys did pretty good. 3rd out of 20. That's nothing to sneeze at.
No, we did okay.
So, what you looking to get into out of this?
I think keeping options open is very important.
Okay. Gonna see what the offers are and compare them. That's the way you should do it.
Any tips?
Well, I mean, I'm here representing colonization. Got a contract. Look, I'm gonna level with you.
You're not the best at this, Alannah, are you?
Look, I'm gonna level with you. We need some pilots, but if you take it, I'm gonna give it to you. It's just a contract for outpost security. Truthfully, coming from colonization, we know we're not the top picks a lot of time. A lot of people don't like being out in the boondocks in the middle of nowhere, just waiting for nothing to happen. So,
You sell yourself well.
look, a lot of times our contracts go to number 20. We have a reputation.
Why?
So,
Well, like I said, a whole lot of nothing happens on the borders of the colony. A lot of people see it as cowardice taking a contract out there.
Good to know.
Well, still pays money. Still get experience. Just takes a while.
Fair enough. I'll keep in touch.
Tom, nice to meet you.
Shake his hand and move on.
Well,
Alright.
while Merlin's doing this, I think Junker's gonna seek out one of those, what was it? Resource and transport representatives.
Okay. Yeah.
If there are any around.
Oh, yeah.
Do they have any free swag at their tables? You know, like coffee mugs or little stress balls, tote
not
bags.
a convention.
This is not a job fair.
Okay.
There is
I stole Tom's pen.
Oh no, it's pen. It's part of his identity.
His future pen.
His
He
future
draws.
pen.
He draws with lasers.
It can write upside down. Very advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Need that for zero.
The
gravity.
ink doesn't spill.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Do you check with Vlad to see, or do you just like target a table that looks like it might have people from resource and transport?
Oh, if it's not obvious, then I would go up to Vlad and say, "Hey, could you point me in the right direction? I'm looking for some resource and transport guys."
Vlad, who has a drink of his own, will hold up his bottle to cheers with you, because I'm assuming you came by with a drink.
I'll
There you go.
clink with him.
Yeah. Yeah, I saw resource and transport. It'd fit well with your background, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would. That's what I'm thinking.
All right. Well, yeah, I think there's some people ironing out some trade deals over in the corner. He'll point out a couple people in orange jumpsuits.
Over there? Okay. And I'll go walk up to them.
You see a tall woman with sharp features debating furiously with a similarly tall man with sharp features. They look so similar, it's almost like they look related, but they're just going at it, like throwing numbers back and forth at each other, arguing furiously. Every once in a while they'll motion to the holo terminal. Eventually the guy gets angry and just like waves through the thing, and it just like disrupts the image. He's like, he swears in a you assume he swear. He did it in a regional language you're not aware of. But
Are they
a swear.
speaking a different language, or do
No.
they just
There's-
swear in a different language?
They're speaking in the common trade tongue.
So let's say I eavesdrop a little bit. What's the general gist of what they're arguing about?
Hey, why don't we see? Do you have any traits that would allow you any specialties in doing that?
reckless, resilient, and easygoing.
You also have a background in smuggler.
I do have
so I think that gives you
criminal.
special...
Oh, one of my fields is criminal, forgery, and deception.
Okay.
So maybe deception?
So, because
like
of your
acting
background...
like I'm not listening when I am.
So all of our pilots have a background, and that gives you fields of specialty that you're super good in. It's very hard to fail these things. Now, Todd, because your background is smuggler, you are pretty good at most criminal activities, but you're specifically good at forgery and deception.
Right.
So you'll get a small bonus for calling upon your criminal background, but if you specifically had something to do with forgery or deception, it's almost like a guaranteed success for you.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're going to like listen in. You also, remember, have a field in perception.
I do. So yeah, I'm just gonna stand. Let's use perception here. So I'm just gonna stand like maybe a safe distance away, and like sort of pretend to be looking at something else, but I'm gonna be listening to their argument.
Okay. And because of your field, and this isn't particularly difficult for you because they're not expecting this, you automatically succeed. You don't have to roll for this.
Okay.
Yeah, you're so good at this that you pass it instantly. So as you stand to the side, you realize that they're actually debating about a shipping deal. The man thinks he's getting ripped off because he was promised, after trading in a few favors, working for from context-wise, her department. Apparently he got a few things shipped in time frames that worked for their schedules. Now he's trying to call in his favors, and she's basically telling him it can't be done.
Okay, wait, so he's like...
He's trying to call in a favor because he's done some extra stuff for them in the past.
Gotcha.
And she's telling him that
no.
they can't do what he's asking.
Okay. I will approach, and I'll say, "Hey, it's a party. Let's not fight."
The man will say, "Yeah, suppose so. You're one of those graduates, aren't you?"
Yes, I am.
Where are you from?
He is from... Oh, I'm from around.
From around, huh? I understand that.
I've been
not that square
about
planet,
all
the
different
round
parts
one.
of the galaxy.
Yeah. No, yeah, I'm not around. I'm a square. He'll go, "You know what?" He'll turn to the lady and he'll go, "Judy, we'll pick this up some other time. I'm going to go take care of the business." And he'll step away, leaving you with the woman.
I'll say, "What's his deal?"
She'll be standing with her arms crossed, visibly frustrated, be like, "That fool thinks that he can move the heavens and earth just because he wishes it.
I've known his type before.
He's done some good work for us, but truthfully, there are schedules that need to be maintained, and we can't just materialize something from one side of the galaxy to the other."
Well, what's he trying to accomplish?
Fuel. There's a fuel shortage out on the eastern band, and, well, he thought that the company would make a killing if we could sell a whole bunch of fuel out that way, but it's tied up in other resources right now, and I've told him that it's above my pay grade. I can't just requisition fuel.
Just real quick out of character, would Junker know this guy's like another pilot, or is he representing something else, or maybe he doesn't know this?
He would assume that he is another representative from a different part of the shipping organization.
Okay.
So remember that Manticorp that you work for is like a parent company.
Yeah.
Right? So all of the divisions underneath of it are their own independent entities. So even though Manticorp kind of rolls over top of all of it, it'd be too inefficient to have to check with Manticorp corporate office for every little thing that's done. So most of the organizations operate like independent businesses that have interpersonal relationships tying them together.
Is this guy, would this guy be open to us taking a contract with him, maybe, if he's trying to do something really crazy?
Just saying, well, if you can find the material, I imagine pilots like you can requisition a good many things. If you think that it's in the corporate interest, I'm sure he might have a contract available for you.
What about you? Do you have anything for my squad?
Truthfully, I'm here to try and get in contact with MCR. There's a few things on our end that we need to check up with them about some missions that they've done for our side.
Oh, I see. Okay, well, good talking to you then. And I'll take my leave. But what way did that other guy go?
He went off. He is now standing alone with a hard drink. It appears he stopped at the bar on his way. He's standing by the portrait windows that look out over the MCs.
Okay. Let me go. I'm gonna approach him. And I'll say, so, what if I were to tell you that maybe I could get your job done?
Job? Ah, okay. She told you what I'm looking for, then?
Yeah, she gave me the gist.
I had a different voice a second ago. She told you what I was looking
you're
for.
British.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently everyone in this world slips into British if left alone for long enough. He says,
that's what happens when he drinks too much. When he gets drunk, he becomes
it's what happens.
British.
It's like the Empire in Star Wars. Everyone's British. Everyone has a slight British accent.
It's like when Leia was British for one scene in A New Hope.
He goes, yeah, out on the did I say Western? It's the Western
Eastern.
Belt, right? Eastern. He said,
I think
yeah.
you said Eastern.
Out on the Eastern Belt, there's a fuel shortage certain right now. And currently, I think the company's afraid to ship fuel out there because there's some insurrectionist forces out there afraid we're going to get hijacked and our fuel's going to get stolen. But we have factories needing that fuel out that direction. And I think we can get them up and running, and I can show a quarterly report that will prove that this is worthwhile. But they will not give me the fuel to send out there.
Went from British to Southern.
Yeah. That's what I am now.
I said I do declare.
I come from Space, Louisiana. Thank you.
Back in the space bayou.
Well, Junker's gonna say, well, hey, this kind of stuff interests me a good deal. I mean, this is what I'm good at. You know, I could pretty sure I could get this done for you. I could.
You think you could get it in under the radar?
Oh, absolutely. I make a living doing that before I became a pilot. But I do have to check with my leader first. I can't just accept it out of hand. But
Right, well, pirates are a rare resource, and I'm sure as hell going to write you up a contract if you think you can protect some vessels carrying fuel out to the Eastern Belt.
All right, well, let me get back to you. But
Mister.
I can say, if the rest of my squad's game, I'm real interested.
All right.
All right, I'll raise my glass to him. Cheers.
Your empty glass.
Yeah. You're like waving it at him.
He's like, damn it!
You raise your glass to cheer him while drinking out of the flask that Vlad gave you earlier. It's like,
You will regret
guy knows me
this.
so well.
All right. So I'll walk off. I don't know if you guys want to take a turn.
All right, yeah. Who else wants to talk to someone?
Waiting on my drinks. Are all my drinks done?
Then I'll be
They're like halfway through. He's just like, glass, 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 glass,
Okay.
glass.
Is
So
he
now-
making every mixed drink?
Every
that's
mixed
ever
drink. I asked
existed
for
in the
one of
world?
everything.
He's making everything on the approved menu for this occasion.
Okay.
I'll be asking around a couple people about anyone from MCR.
Okay. You'll ask around.
Oh,
You'll
hey,
come
sorry.
across.
Real
Yeah.
quick. let me just say I asked that guy's name. What was his name?
Let's call him Oscar.
Oscar. Okay. I'll put him down as Oscar.
Oscar Mike Charlie is his full name.
That's not his name, but let's call him Oscar.
Yeah, let's call him Oscar. Don't worry, at some point I'm going to forget all these names and everyone's going to be Steve.
I have him written down.
Steve!
So. Damn it, Carl.
I shouldn't do that too often. It's going to throw in my throat. All right, so Merlin, as you're walking around, yeah, you'll ask around. Let's go ahead and use your background in etiquette. You kind of are just, weaving yourself through the party excellently. People, like you're representing yourself almost like someone from corporate would represent themselves. And eventually, yeah, you'll be able to figure out that there are a couple representatives from MCR. There's one at a table discussing business deals with someone else from shipping. Actually, this is going to be the same woman who Todd had talked to earlier. She's now talking to someone from MCR over at her corner table. There's also 2 more members of MCR who are, one's at the bar and one is enjoying a drink by himself looking out at the portrait windows.
Now, is MCR more of a secretive organization, or are they more public?
MCR is secretive until they're public. They have a very public face. A lot of product launch stuff. MCR is where innovation comes from.
Gotcha.
So until it hits market, it is top secret. But then they advertise the fuck out of it as soon as it goes on sale.
Perfect. Which one of the people would be in more of that marketing position?
Public face marketing stuff. Yeah, you're able to figure that out. It's actually the man at the bar right now. He's actually currently chatting up 2 women who are at the bar with him. One looks like Alannah is on the other side of the bar.
Okay.
As she's still being given drinks.
All right, I'm gonna walk up to him and not interrupt him and his women.
Yeah.
But
it looks like he's currently discussing something with a woman wearing transport attire. And
one wearing nothing at all.
And nothing at
all.
Nothing at all. Actually, you're going to recognize this other member at the party,
Melissa.
Jay. You didn't realize she was here. This is...
Brienne of Tarth.
Varsha?
Her name...
Marsha.
...is Lunette. Lunette Gilliam. She is actually one of the members of Melissa's team. She's one of the other squad members in Melissa's group. She's wearing her casual attire, which is kind of like a leather short jacket with jumpsuit, belt, pouches on the side, and high boots. She is chatting up this woman from transport and the MCR guy.
Okay. I will join the conversation.
All right, so as you work your way into the conversation...
I don't mean to butt in here, but...
The MCR guy is going to be talking to them, and then you'll notice that as he's talking, it's one of those things where they're kind of kind of huddled in on themselves, like groups generally do when they're talking at a party so they can hear each other. The one facing you who can actually see you mostly in the group is Lunette. And as the guy's talking, as he comes to the end of his story, he'll get Lunette will actually say, "Oh, Merlin, nice of you to join us."
Nice to see you, Lunette. I didn't know you'd be here.
The MCR guy is actually going to back up to give you room in their little chat group to kind of step in. And Lunette will go, "Yeah, I think I might actually stop in every one of these graduation ceremonies. It's not every day. Well, it will be for the next month or so. Free drinks. Gotta love it."
You and Junker would get along.
I know me and Junker would get along. Gone drinking with him.
And apparently Alannah. What drinks does she need? Anyways,
Lunette will also look over him and like laugh to herself a little bit after she sees Cody. You will be getting the last of your drinks.
Excellent.
Now, what I'm really curious about is how you're going to carry all those drinks.
But we'll finish up with Merlin before we move back to you.
Excellent.
So yeah, Merlin. Lunette's just like, yeah, I was just having a discussion here with my new good friends, Kim and John, who are telling me a little bit about what they're doing here.
And what is that?
Kim will actually speak up here and she'll go, actually, I'm here representing transport. We're looking for a couple of VIP guards. There's a couple business dealings we have with a few other companies, and we need to send escorts with them. Kind of like, bodyguard stuff. But it's important that we show a strong face. We want good pilots to people who can conduct themselves well in social situations, so that we need security there, but we need our security to blend in.
I see. And I just kind of glance over at John.
John's like, yes, well, I'm actually here because I'm interested in, well, every pilot training graduation. A lot of our best pilots are the fresh ones. People get in their ways a little bit, and, once they're out in the field in a while, they develop a few quirks. I like to have ones we can mold.
Is Melissa the leader of her group?
Melissa is the leader of Lunette's group, yes.
Okay. And I'll go, like Melissa. And her group.
Melissa's great. She graduated valedictorian. I've seen her reports, and he has glass. This isn't Bob doing this. He goes, she's the head of her class, and wow, she's amazing. And her ability with drones, I've been testing a few of the new release drones we've got in the field, and man, she flies them like someone playing a pipe organ.
She's good at a lot of things, hence being valedictorian. She's not good at everything, though. Maybe you should consider looking at us for a few things.
Jay, for that clever injection there, everyone knows that Merlin is great at persuasion. So you have...
Everyone knows that.
Everyone knows that. It's not a secret. So you're specifically good at charisma, reputation, diplomacy, and ideological persuasion. What do you want to lean on here to get him to consider you guys?
Do you want me to RP it, or?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Why don't you tell me what it's going to be beforehand?
It's going to be considering us as a face of MCR.
Okay, so either charisma, reputation, or diplomacy, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll figure it out based on what you RP.
Yeah. So, Melissa's going to be great at testing all of your things. Her team is phenomenal. Hard to meet a better team to pick.
I agree.
But you also need a team to show these as well, a face for the company. It's no stranger that we got decent marks, good enough for MCR to look at in itself, I think. But to also have the etiquette that comes with it, the stunning visuals, as I'll kind of motion towards Alannah,
She's over at the
that
bar,
comes along with it, and you've never met a friendlier man than the one getting more alcohol over there.
than that
okay.
idiot
It
over there.
may sound silly at times, but to have a connection with the people that you're marketing this to could be incredibly beneficial.
Okay. Based on what you RP'd there, I'm definitely calling this charisma persuasion. You make a very, very good argument for yourselves. This isn't going to be an auto success, though. So, Jay, I want you to roll me with +2 accuracy, please.
Ooh.
Now, in this system, you only ever get to add 1d6 onto the end of your roll. So when you have 2 accuracy, you actually roll 2d6s, and you just select whichever of them is the highest of the two and add that to your score.
I rolled a 10, got a 4 and a 6, so 16.
16? That's great. He'll go, you make a good argument for someone so young.
I've been around for a while.
Well, it's
rubbing
true.
elbows with the bigwigs isn't new to me.
It shows. And you're right. Usually MCR will only look at the top 5 graduates of any given year. And, you guys are firmly in there. Obviously, Melissa gets in on marks alone, but, you guys are...
Firmly in there.
You guys
Sorry.
are,
Sorry.
definitely one of the more interesting bunches. It's actually a shame you guys are only represented as third. From what I understand, the only reason you didn't make second is use of unorthodox methods in the field.
Well, we get the job done.
I like that. You know what? Let's keep in touch. I have a few more things I need to talk about, but you're going to want to keep my name by the end of this party.
I will take John down.
Yeah. His name is John Siegfried. And he will actually hand you a business card. Like you had sussed out based on the information you had been given, he is in charge of the marketing team for MCR.
Mm-hmm. I'm just going to smile over at Kim and then hold my hand out to her.
Kim will go, well, sure was nice meeting you.
No card?
Handshake. She'll be like, well, of course. She'll take out her card and hand it to you.
Mm-hmm.
Are they holographic?
If we need to prove ourselves to MCR,
What's
I'll
that?
smile over at John. I'll say, if we need to prove ourselves to MCR in some way, you'll be hearing from us.
John smiles at you. Let's flash over because I'm very interested to see what the hell Gearhead is doing with all these drinks. As a courtesy, the bartender has also given you those circular weight tray things so that you can put the drinks on.
So the funny thing is, a third of them are gone already.
You've been drinking them.
Oh
as
yeah,
you're waiting.
as I was waiting.
Do you force him to remake
3.
those ones?
No. Only one of everything.
Okay.
If I would have said 3 of everything, I would have gotten all of us one of everything.
Okay. Yeah.
So I drank a third, and I'm sitting there, now what would that woman in the white coat like? I'm just kind of like scoop up as many as I can. I'm gonna walk over.
Ching, 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 ching,
Yeah. And I'm gonna walk over to Junker first, and I'm gonna put him down next to him. Some spill, whatever. Like, I didn't know what you wanted. I got you something. Pick one. Congratulations, buddy.
Junker's like, whoa. Even for me, this is overkill. But he's gonna take a drink. Just take a random drink.
Excellent. You picked the one that wasn't drugged.
Oh.
Phew.
There's that compulsive liar
Dang it.
trait. It was drugged.
2 minutes later, Junker
Just
just
falling over.
flops to the floor.
Okay, so you only want one? Just one?
I'll take another.
I ordered one of everything.
Which means there's like 50 drinks, most of which you had to leave on the bar.
Yeah, they're
because
over
you
there.
Just scooped up a bunch.
I had about 15 so far.
He's gonna grab like a Long Island iced tea. If
Alannah's like, you're taking too long. She just pushes like 5 in his direction.
That one, that one.
Looks for Merlin. Spots
that
Merlin. Grabs a bunch of the other ones. Like some...
So, hey Gearhead, as you pick up a bunch of your drinks and go over to Merlin to generously offer him some drinks, a violent shock rocks through this part of the base, accompanied by the sounds of explosions as you drop a bunch of the drinks on the ground and they shatter.
Son of a bitch! I waited 20 minutes for those.
Everyone at the party is like looking around trying to see what's going on. Some people are freaking out, and just like the power flickers in the party room as you guys are still feeling some aftershocks of the explosion.
I'm immediately heading for my mech.
Yep. I spot Merlin.
I'm gonna real quick.
We lock eyes, and
Yep.
we both. Let's do this.
Cool.
gonna
That
real
is
quick-
cool. I didn't know if I was going to have to prompt you guys to do that, or if you would take initiative. So I'm very happy with you.
Well, Junker's not doing that. He's gonna go to a window and see if he can see
Look up.
anything.
What's going on?
Like,
He
are
just
there
goes like
aliens
this.
out there.
As you guys do this, you'll notice Vlad is just pushing people out of the way. He's jumping over tables, and he jumps onto a terminal by the front window. He actually pushes some dude out of the side, and he just starts typing into this terminal as a bunch of things are coming up on screen. He's near where you are, Junker.
I'm gonna go up to Vlad and say, "What do you got?"
Vlad is like barely paying attention to you, but he hears you, and you can tell he acknowledged you walking up as he's just furiously typing into this terminal as things are popping up on screen. And he says, Someone sabotaged the main MC storage hangar. There's been explosions in the pilot personnel quarters as well.
Now Alannah's gonna recall. Do we all hear Vlad? Do we have comms or anything right now?
I do over the watch.
If
Ooh, good one.
And then
So,
he'll hear, thanks for that, Vlad.
Are you guys on
I would always have it in just in case.
Okay, you would always have it in.
Yeah.
It is not uncommon in this setting to always have personal communicators in your headsets.
It's a little badge we wear. It's kind of shaped like a triangle a little.
Number 2.
So, so he'll say, it'll be like, "Oh, good, you're all listening. There's no estimate on the scope of the damage yet. Oh shit. I'm picking up something else. It's an all hands alert, guys. Junker, why are you still here? Go!"
All right.
Okay.
He runs over. Yeah, he's like, 1 second.
Someone gave me these 5 drinks.
more.
Now I'm ready.
You hear someone come up over Vlad's shoulder, and Junker, you'll see it as you leave. And it is actually looking over Vlad's shoulder while he's doing this is actually Greta, the base commander, who was at the party as well. She comes up and looks over Vlad's shoulder and goes, "This is supposed to be a secured network." And Vlad says, "Yeah, emergency, had to hack it, sorry." And he just keeps going.
All right, Junker's gonna run over back to where his mech is.
Alright, so like I said, at the base of each of your mechs is your hard suit waiting for you. It's like power armor, that's like a stylized power armor you would see in other sci-fi shows. It can take a hit. So, for example, the weapon that a mech would fire would instantly paste anybody outside of a mech. But someone who's in a hard suit like this, you actually, for the purposes of combat, count as like a very light mech while you're wearing it. So it's very important to have this on when you go into combat.
I'm gonna run up to the hard suit and I'm gonna use my awesome new ID and go, "Mantis, activate!" And the hard suit's gonna just form on me, and I'm gonna jump in.
So you have some sort of Iron Man suit, just goes.
I was thinking more Power Rangers. You know, Tyrannosaurus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we'll do that. Sure.
Because I would say,
and start
because of
playing it.
my mechanical background, I have.
Yeah. Come on. If you're gonna
I
go
have-
for it, it should be a
yeah.
dagger that's also a flute. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's a long
I had that
sword.
as a kid, by the way.
It just like goes all the way
It
out.
talked
and
to
just
you
like
and
holding
everything.
onto the hills.
Yeah. Okay, so as you guys suit up and jump in your mechs, Vlad will actually be hacked into the operator network. This is the network he normally communicates to you guys on while you're on missions.
Your security sucks.
Actually, Alannah's gonna remark over the comms. Vlad hacking into our own shit. You bad boy, you.
Vlad says, "Not now. I'm gonna get it written up for this later." And he says, "Okay, look, I got some info for you. MCR is reporting that armed assailants have hijacked one of their projects, along with a prototype MC and some of their research data." He also says, looks like you three are the only ones actually in this side of the base with functioning MCs. They blew up the entire hangar. You guys got missed because you were in the auditorium hall. The response from the closest non-disabled forces, estimates are up to 30 minutes for them to make it over here, so looks like this is your guys'
We'll
show.
be done in 5.
I was in the hangar a couple hours before the ceremony. I didn't see anything.
Well,
Nothing.
if we're gonna stop this, it's all up to you guys.
Well,
All right, so let me just read ahead here. I have. All right, so you guys have boarded your MCs and you're heading towards the main shuttle bay.
The
so
main?
both
the mine?
Come
on, man.
So the MC storage hangar and the auditorium hangar both feed into a main shuttle bay. That's actually the room that actually has access to hard vacuum from it. So this is actually leading to the place where people actually depart from. So the larger shuttle ships are based out in here and stuff like that. MCs just kind of come in here when they're leaving from their individual hangars. Vlad will tell you over comms that the scene in the hangar looks pretty grim. There's a lot of damage and debris scattered around in there right now. And he's reading 2 light mechs, the stolen mech that MCR reported, and a tank. And he's painted them all for you on your HUD.
Nice. Okay. Way to go, Vlad. We got this.
All right. So, anything you guys want to do before you head in there? Anyone want to talk about their mechs or what equipment you happen to have along for the ride for this rodeo?
Yes.
I kind of talked about mine. Big rifle, mech. That's about it.
Big rifle and mech. It's usually what you need. Get stuff done.
My mech is equipped with a thermal lance and a battle rifle and some grenades. So, also a glorious sound system that plays all the classics of Earth.
Man, what a cultured soul.
Look, you can't kill people on an empty ear, alright? That's what I always say.
What about you, Junker? You haven't actually described your mech like the other two.
Yeah, so my mech, the way I imagine my mech is it's like a gunslinger mech. So it can sort of fly around, and it has like 2 sort of what you would call handguns for the mech. They're not mounted onto the mech itself, but it does have one howitzer that's mounted on its shoulder. In addition to these 2 like handguns that it kind of shoots from its arms. So that's my mech.
All right. Well, as you guys come in to the departure bay, you're going to see a large room in front of you. And there's a large open bay door to your left. That's open to hard vacuum, but it has like an energy field over it so that things don't get sucked out into space. Okay. It's actually set up so that most mechanical things can pass through that energy barrier without damaging themselves. So they don't actually have to lower that barrier for things to leave. They can just kind of go through it. There is a defense mode where that can be turned into like an energy lattice that actually like is a hard stop for things. But it seems that there is actually some sparking coming from either side of the doors. It seems that someone has disabled the security features of the shuttle door so that things can actually move in and out freely.
Okay, wait, let me just make sure I understand everything. So part of this is open to space, you said, but there's a force field.
Basically, the entire left side from where you guys have entered is a giant bay door that huge ships would go in and out. So, like, ships that would carry your mechs would go in and out of there. You could also just jump out in a mech and fly out of the side of this hangar. So it's basically, the door's open for all intents and purposes.
Okay.
And then to your right, you're going to see wreckage. To your right is normally the hallway that would lead down to the MC hangar. But it is blown to shit. There is debris blown out from that door, just scattered around on the ground.
Okay.
And then you'll see to the right of you, there's 2 large cargo ships docked in the hangar. And they are each in individual berths on the right side of the room. And then down the center of this room is the large runway that leads towards the exit, with debris and various cargo crates and loading vehicles.
And do we see the baddies from our vantage point?
In fact, yes. You see them, and they are painted onto your heads-up display inside of your mechs.
Gotcha.
You will see them marked as Light Mech number 1, Light Mech number 2, Stolen Mech, and Tank. Those appear to be the designations that Vlad picked as he was marking them for your computer systems.
Okay.
What are they doing?
It appears that they're in the middle of escorting the Stolen Mech to the exit. So it looks like you have caught them in the middle of their escape. They weren't expecting resistance, I don't think, because they had destroyed the mech hangar completely on this side. So you guys, having graduated today, actually spared your mechs from the same carnage as everyone else's. And launching from here, we're actually going to get into combat. So I think we're going to actually chop this episode up here. These are part 1 and part 2 of the same mission. So we're going to get into combat next time. You guys are ready.
Woo!
Yeah.
That's the good stuff.
Boom, boom.
So we got, just to do a little roundup. So we got Jay the Snipies, we got Todd the Flying Gunslinger, and we have Alannah the... What do you specialize in?
Yeah, it's
I just shoot stuff and pick stuff up. I got 4 arms, baby.
and look pretty.
Oh yeah, pick stuff up, mech suit.
I can
Is
also
your mech
grapple.
pretty too?
Specialized.
So I'm like, I would say I'm the close range grappler shoot man.
Got it.
Okay.
All right. Well, we'll see how those play out in the next episode.
Sounds good.
Take care.